to be able to convince you that, well, that I didn't start with the wrong Kata, unlike what Robin says. Anyhow, can everybody hear me at the back? Wow, fantastic. So I'm Brendon Page. I work at a company called Chilisoft, as you may have guessed from the shirt. There are my details. Brendon Page Nate is my Twitter handle, so follow me so I can follow you back, and I will follow you back because I didn't bring in the business cards. I brought in Pete, so you can follow him as well. So today I'm going to teach, before, some term keeping, not housekeeping or glossary. Who's heard of a kata before? Just a general. Okay, so not everybody. So in martial arts, a kata is a set of moves that you repeat over and over again, so that when it comes to a battle situation, like ninjas, you know those moves instinctively. You don't have to then go, I need to block like this. You just block. Okay, so that's where the word originates from. Not a very technical explanation, but you'll cope with it. And the second thing is TDD. Who hasn't heard of TDD? Ah, the first question. Okay, test-driven development. You write your tests first. Mind-blowing, I know. Speak to somebody about it afterwards, maybe me if you'd like to. I'm going to be using these terms, that's why I put them up here. So I'm going to be telling you a story. It's my story, and it's how doing the string kata made me a better developer. Hey, there's a screen at the back. I don't have to cover that. Cool. Okay, so I started working at Chilisoft just over a year ago, and they gave me this thing, this printout, and said, hey, here's the string kata. You have 30 minutes every morning, and within 3 months you have to have it under 20 minutes, as in be able to code the entire thing in under 20 minutes. So, who's heard of the string calculator? Okay, so not that many of you. The string calculator is a code kata, so it's something that's intended to be repeated over and over again. It's created by a guy called Roy Osheroff, and it's the primary intent of it is to practice working incrementally. So you want to practice breaking a problem down to small chunks. And he says that it's to teach you the TDD cadence. So red, green, refactor. Most of you didn't put up your hand when I said who doesn't know TDD, so you shouldn't be. Okay, if that, you guys can speak to me on it. Okay, so just to take you through the problem, it's a 9-step problem. You take a delimited string as input. The delimited string has numbers in it, and you have to sum those numbers up. So it seems pretty simple. As you can see, step 1 is just no number needs to give you 0, one number needs to give you that number, and 2 numbers needs to give you 3. Then a whole bunch of steps, you end up with that. That's a bit harder to pass. So it does escalate quite quickly. Of course, it wouldn't be simple to just follow the rules that you're given, so we add a bunch of extra rules. Now there's rules saying it has to be clean code, like strict TDD, intent revealing names, small methods, dry code. Oh, I didn't put dry in my glossary. Who hasn't heard of dry? Okay, don't repeat yourself. So if you have an if count is greater than 0, and you have the if count is greater than 0 again and again and again, that's not very dry code because you're repeating yourself. So then they add something interesting. No debugger, guys. Sorry, you cannot place a breakpoint. You just have to magically know when things are broken and why they're broken. And no mouse either. Sorry, just to deal with it. And when you get it under 30 minutes, you have to go and get it assessed by your buddy guy that you're going to sell it to. I call it the you're doing it wrong assessment, because I can tell you're doing it wrong. Okay, so you sit down and you think, what? I've been coding for 8 years, why am I getting this thing? This is ridiculous, And then you say, okay, that should be easy. Smooth leg, it's all good. Let's do this thing. And you, first attempt you fail. You don't even get past step 5, because step 5 says if you get to step 5, if you finish step 5 in 30 minutes, then you can carry on. You sit there and think, yes, I'm going to do that. No. So then you slowly improve. You're going to deeper waters. Speak to some guys around the office. Here are the boats, or the guys around the office. And then you think, haha, you have a few light bulb moments. You go down from getting to step 4 to close to step 5, and you get it under 30 minutes. Yes, under 30 minutes. Oh yeah. And you go for your first assessment. Of course, as I said, you're doing it wrong. Woo! No, failing dismally. And then you go back and you struggle and you struggle and you struggle. Talk to more guys around the office, and you get it under 20 minutes. You go, yes, I hit the goal. Oh yeah. And then they say, record it now. No, why do you want me to record this thing? Seriously, I've got my code here. Then you record it under 20 minutes because you've managed to do it in under 20 minutes. And again, oh yeah, win, profit. Oh, you refactored under the red, or one of another billion excuses why you have to do it again. So you go and you correct it, and you get a perfect recording in under 20 minutes. Yeah, this is great. So who wants to guess? Oh, maybe you gave it away. Why did you give it away? And yeah, I did it 30 times. So it took me just over a month to to get it in under 20 minutes. I know what you're all thinking. Well done, you're so good at coding the string kata. You're so damn awesome. Who was thinking that? The one guy I'm giving the talk to was thinking that. Jeepers, you guys are like perpetual optimists or something. Anyhow, but consider the following. This is a lot more dramatic when you were being pessimists, by the way. Okay, so I had to learn lots of keyboard shortcuts because I had no mouse. That made me faster. I had to learn new tools and new techniques, such as creating code snippets, custom code snippets, not just the for and the if and the while that come with Visual Studio, because those actually aren't good enough to get you to get, unless you're like a master typist, you're going to need snippets to get this thing in under 20 minutes. And they have to be general snippets as well, because in the recording, if they see code just appear as the code that needs to be there in a snippet, that's yeah, back to the drum board. And then if you're really brave, like one of the guys in the office, he uses Vim, we all stand back and go, I don't know what you're doing. Okay, and I had to do that because of the time limit, you know, you're forced to do that. And it made me faster. Okay, there's more. I had to learn how to write maintainable unit tests. Because you get to the assessments and they say these aren't maintainable, and also there's a lot of refactoring that goes in, because one of the rules is you have to write just the code that you need to solve this problem. So you're going to need to refactor unit tests, you're going to need to refactor your code. So you have to write maintainable code. This, I can't read that. This made me faster! Okay, I need new glasses, guys. Okay, I had to learn how to write unit tests that gave me meaningful failures, because I had no debugger. And that is how you manage to figure out what's going on when you get invalid format exception. What's that? And that made me faster as well, because when you get a meaningful failure, you know what has gone wrong, and you can fix it, and where it's gone wrong. You also taught me the TDD cadence, and the most important thing is the refactor, because I don't know if any of you have tried, have any of you actually done this code? String kata, wow, like 5, 10 guts. So when you start off with the code you produce in step 1, 2, and 3 just gets massacred, grows into this monolithic nested if loop thingy if you don't refactor it. And then you'll never get it in under 20 minutes. And this made me faster. You can see a trend coming. But there's more now. Okay, so it gave me a shared experience as well. So you're starting at this new company, and this is something that everybody else has done, even the juniors. And it's a requirement. You will do this. So it allowed me to bond with my team, or gel with my team. I don't know, have any of you guys read The Clean Coder by Robert C. Martin? He talks about, see a lot of the same guys putting up hands here. Anyhow, so he talks about how more effective a gelled team is. Forced me to discuss with my peers, you know, this guy that was floating around. And it was because of the assignment and just out of pure desperation. Like, how did you do this thing in 20 minutes? Seriously, guys. And then again, helped me gel with the team. It also made me realize that I can be better. I mean, a lot of developers, and I was one of these. I'm so awesome, I work 9 to 5, it's all great, and I didn't know enough to know how little I knew. And again, the fact that everyone else had done it, you get there, you try to do it, you fail so hard, you think, jeepers, this junior dude this next to me's done it. So I have to be able to be better at my job. And it motivated me. And who here has to motivate developers professionally? I don't envy any of you. A new person is right. Okay, so summary. It motivated me, which is just damn hard anyhow. It made me faster, and it didn't make me faster at solving problems. It made me faster at getting the code out that I needed to get out. I didn't have to think, oh, where does bracket go? I just use my tool, extract this method. Then it'll be extracted, you know. Obviously you have to pay attention to the output, but there's a lot less cognitive notes. It freed up my mind to concentrate on the domain and the problems in the domain rather than having to deal with the detail that I don't need to deal with because I can create snippets and use my tools to create the code. And it helped me get, I don't know, accepted more. Was I accepted quicker because of the string kata, Peter? Yes, he's nodding. And it added that shared understanding, because how often have you guys gone into your team? I do it this way, Bob does it that way, clash, clash, clash. You know, there's no you fight over it because you've got deadlines and no constructive conversations actually come out of it. Now I could stop now, but I basically told you to eat your veggies. I'm the mom and like, eat your veggies, do your string kata. That's not very exciting at all. You're like, I know I need to do this, but it's broccoli and it's green, it's 30 times. No, I don't want to do that. But I want to point out a pattern. Okay, so I'll start with what actually happened, and I'll take it to a pattern. That's a bad title. Anyway. So you start there at Chilisoft, you do the string kata, you definitely don't get it done the first time, so you do it a whole heap of times for 30 minutes every morning. Then you sit there and you contemplate, how am I going to get this better? How on earth am I going to get this better? This is craziness. Then you take your learning forward and you feed it into your next time. So this also happens to be the model for deliberate practice. It's quite deliberate, that's the model for deliberate practice. And the model is you pick a target, you reach for that target, and you evaluate your gap. Oh man, how bad am I? And then you start again. You take that learning forward. This also happens to be the plan, you check, act cycle. Who knows what the plan, you check, act cycle is? Okay, so it makes a lot more sense to you guys now. If any of you have ever read any sort of like specification where there's self-improvement that's needed, and food safety or whatnot, there's the plan, you check, act cycle everywhere. Yeah. So why deliberate practice? Why should I care about this? And I've shown you this pattern that's happened, where you find mistakes, you correct them. You find mistakes, you correct them. You repeat, you struggle, you repeat, you struggle. But why? Because of myelin. Who knows who myelin is? Trick question, he's not an anime. He's not an anime character. It's a substance. It's a substance that grows in your brain, and that grows around your neural pathways. Okay, and it insulates them. This is very cool and important because insulated circuits fire more effectively. The signal that is traveling along those circuits doesn't interfere with any other circuits that are next to them. And it's insulated, so you can't get crosstalk and you don't get signal loss, basically. This is pretty much, most people know this as muscle memory. So, who here does any sport? Bad question. Who here knows how to type quickly? There we go. So when you're typing along, and typing quickly doesn't come like these guys here, okay? You guys who know how to touch type, you don't think I'm going to type U-Y, it just happens. You know? That's muscle memory, and those are your insulated neural pathways firing without any crosstalks. You're not hitting anything else. You're not going, damn it, I hit that other stupid T key or whatever it's next to Y. I'm still learning to type. Okay, so we can summarize this as skills are insulated circuits. But here's the kicker. They only grow when you fire them. So it's not just, I can do this once and I'll be brilliant at it. I have the skill. You have to repeat yourself. You have to do it over and over again. Hence the 30 times I got spoiled by Mammoth Man. Oh, there's Mammoth Man. Okay. Oh my gosh. And it's slow. So doing it once is not good enough. You have to do it over and over and over again. So you don't go, oh look, I did the shrink module once, I've grown myelin. Yay, my circuit is insulated. You have to do it over and over and over again. So you have to fire them, and fire them, and fire them. Yes. So you have a choice. You have a choice, right? Do you go haphazardly through your work and build whatever skill you happen upon at that point in time? Or do you choose the skill you're going to develop and then leverage that while you work to make you more effective and faster so that you can concentrate on problem solving, on your domain? So that's your choice that you have. Now it's not only in dev that this happens. Think about learning to drive a car. Who here can talk on their cell phone and drive your car? Don't lie to me. I know it's everybody. Exactly. Now, when you were first trying to learn to drive, could you talk on your cell phone and drive your car? No ways in hell. No. And the reason is, your brain was busy going crazy. There was crosstalk signal loss everywhere. You were like, A, B, C, oh no, you'll pull off. This is just crazy. You were concentrating on the basics, on the fundamentals. You were concentrating on brackets. Then all of a sudden you graduated. You went into ditches. What's my time like? 5 minutes. Awesome. Okay. You drove into ditches, you grated the clutch, you did all sorts of nasty things. But you did it over and over again because they just wouldn't let you on the road otherwise. It's like, no, you're not going on the road until you can actually drive properly. Right? And once those circuits became insulated, you could then start talking to something. It's great. Right? Another thing that I've started doing, and this is just personal experiments I've started running, it's completely unscientific, so don't ask me about it, you just try it. I've been trying to learn how to touch type for the last 2 or 3 months, and I've gotten slightly better. I used to use my pickers. I've got to the point where I could type as fast as I was typing when I used my pickers, and it was still a bit slow, and the brackets were annoying. So what I started doing is, if I make one mistake, I delete the word I'm on, or the line I'm on if it's an if statement or something, and I made a mistake with the brackets, and I just retype it. And it forces me to do that over and over again. It forces me to stop and fire the circuits over and over again. And I've noticed, I haven't done a word count test because I've been to Tech for Africa and all sorts of random excuses that I make. But I've noticed a marked improvement in at least my typing confidence because I've got the attitude, I'm going to learn, I'm going to be better, and I have noticed that words just appear. I think my password, well, it's there. And my password's got stupid things in it. All sorts of crazy things, and it's 10 digits long. I mean, things don't screw me about rainbow tables, 10 digits long. I don't care. Okay, so summary. Become better by deliberately developing the skills you want, because you'll be better. It's good. So don't eat your vegetables. It's like going to home ec class now. I've told you, or biology, told you why to do it. So go do it. It's awesome. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, good sir.
So what did you do now after you mastered the string card?
Okay, there's a set of other cards we've gone on to, but the string card is primarily around how to work with code and how to create the tools. How to learn how to use the tools that will basically move the code out of the way. We tried and actually started to do intentional practice and learning every Monday and Friday for 3 hours and 2 hours, and we do various things. Sometimes we're doing the string cards in Java. And the reason why we're doing that in Java is so that we can stumble upon the syntax of Java until it's solidified in our brain. So what have I moved on to? Many things. The next one I'd suggest is the temperament voting concept, which is a really great one for, doesn't break your problem down to steps, but it solidifies the concept of TDD, because you'll stumble like crazy, and then you'll actually watch it be done and go, that's so easy! So if you're a TDD person, I'm not going to fight that battle now. I would suggest that one next. But we do lots and lots of things. We do, as I said, a little practice twice. Yes?
I'd love to read more about the mind and...
Okay, Talent Code. There's a book, I forget the author, Pete?
Daniel Coyle.
Daniel Coyle, Talent Code. It's a nice overview. It's got a lot of real world examples, and he traveled the world he went to Brazil to see what made Brazilian soccer players good. Or music schools, famous music schools. It's a really good book. And I do have a ridiculously long name of a paper that studies deliberate practice versus experts, like amateurs, experts, intermediates, and there's graphs and things, exciting things that you could. I can give you the name of that as well. It's on my emails in there. 2 questions. Wow. If I had prizes to give away, I'd have to go home with most of them. Yeah, cool. I was obviously so good you guys didn't need to ask questions. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks.